A very good evening to the ladies and gentlemen present here. I, Toastmaster Atmika Bhatt, would love to welcome you all to the 176th NITK BHIVE Toastmasters meeting. So, as we are having a meeting here, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Starting with, we will keep our mobile phones switched off or in silent mode. So I'm giving you 30 seconds right now to please check if your phones are on silent mode or switched off. All your phones, please, not just the phones in your hand right now. Please keep it on silent mode, yes.
It's on silent.
We will enter or exit when a person finishes their speech or when there is an applause going on, and we will refrain from speaking on sex, religion, and politics. So, before moving ahead, let me repeat the mission of Toastmasters International for you. It is we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. So, as a part and tradition of our Toastmasters meeting, I would love to welcome onto this particular floor our wonderful president and one who defines the entire mission of what Toastmaster is trying to accomplish, and somebody we all look up to. So please put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster Suparna Ghoshal.
Thank you so much. Humbled. Good evening, all. And nice to see at least a motley of us together this evening. Lovely evening in Bangalore, if you can minus the traffic. So let me first talk about the theme for the day. The theme for the day is pretty unusual, where I think I chose it. Let me tell it aloud. Let's add some flavor to life. Why do we say let's add some flavor to life? Because in a competitive world of today, all of us are in silos or working in teams, but performing to the team. All of us like to perform to the team. What happens in that process is, are we getting mechanized? Is a big question to me and my own thinking. I see the youth today working like mad, almost 16 to 18 hours a day, and the little senior ones like me trying to keep up with their pace. And when we're trying to keep up with their pace, we are actually working in that workspace to deliver productivity for the organization. We enjoy it, no doubt about it. Thereby you are able to perform. But my question is, where is the flavor to life? The things that which we used to do once upon a time, take a quick run in the rain, or walk in the rain, or just stand, when we were young, we used to throw stones, pelt stones, and pick up mangoes and things like that. Today, no child does it, and no parent wants their child to do it. Where is the flavor to our life? We like to see movies. Temporary, we are transfixed into a different world. Movies are of various genres today. Each of us see a movie that we like. And each of us are transported to an illusionary world for some time. We are back out of the theater, or switch off the TV. Again, all those thought process of, oh, this has to be done, oh, this has to be done, this has to be done, and this has to be done. Whether it is your work front or whether it is your home front, there is an endless list of errands in our mind only to keep up, I would rather say, to keep up our life running smoothly. And in doing so, we all forget to add little spice to our lives. Today, naughtiness can be or has been banned in schools. right? At office places, people have become touchy. We are not able to take criticism. We are not able to season our lives with little naughtiness, with little, enchanting teasing, with little amount of humdrum. We don't like to do that. So the theme, let's add some flavor to life, might come with people who are very passionate. They like to find a way out than their regular forum. And I think Toastmasters is that one flavor in our life of which I think all of us are thankful for. Because we really get out of our Excel sheets, Word formats, PPTs, the last minute errands and things like that. Either we are giving orders or we are taking orders, either way. But Toastmasters definitely has added spice to our lives. We really come here for an hour and a half, and as just now said by our Sergeant in Arms, put off the phones, and we're happy to be in this cosmos called Toastmasters within the chaos of the world. It does add a lot of flavor to ourselves. How did this come about? One young man, Ralph Smedley, thought one day. We all know about his history. We all know how Toastmasters was born, what had happened. But I like to sit and think back as to what would he have actually thought in his mind. We all come across situations in life where we see floundering, where we see potentiality, where we see if a little nudge to this person he'll move forward. And sometimes we see this just cannot happen to this person, but he's trying so hard, so hard, so hard. In such a situation, many of us, senior people, or younger people, or people with a zeal in life who want to do something for the society, they sit back and think, what can I do to help them? What would have gone through in the mind of Ralph Smedley long time back, right? What would he have thought? He would have seen what's going around. America was not America of today then. America was floundering. America is floundering again today. I was shocked to see the underbelly of San Francisco and its images, where unemployment is staring in the face. We all know that all the top-notch companies are today run by Indians. I agree, they are resident Indians of those countries, but they are Indians at heart. Let me accept that they are Indians at heart. With the displacement of the elite from the top end, and also with the displacement from the lower end, America today is floundering again. 100 years back also it was doing the same. This one gentleman brought in exactly the spice of life, told the youth, come along, join, energize yourself, empower yourself with one single thing, communication. One single thing, communication. Be at par in your communications and see how the world rolls, because that's a skill which is uncalled for, untold to, but once expressed, it stands aloft for a human being. So from then till today, I think the world of Toastmasters has kept on expanding. Toastmasters have added spice. At the same time, it has seasoned the life and the thought process of somebody who loves to speak, who loves to stand in front of a mic, or who loves to vent his mind out. So with this thought process, we start this day today, and I hope all of us that are here, we agree to this thought process that we do need some flavor in our life. Of course, we need the rain, we need the traffic, we need lovely, good old traditional food, but we also need the pastas. We need to be playing the garbas, and at the same time, we need our valentines also. Each of these things bring in a lot of humdrum, a lot of spice, lot of energy, a lot of excitement, a lot of love in our lives. With all this put together, we start the theme of the meeting, and a big, big respect to Ralph Medley for having this for us. For today's session, we have the grammarian and the grammarian. Toastmaster Rashmi, if you could spell out your dictum.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. When I came here and they asked me to be a grammarian, I thought, how would I express the importance of the grammarian? I realized today morning when I was cutting the vegetables, the knife wasn't very sharp. So I have a sharpener and I sharpened the knife and then cut the vegetables and it cut very fast. I think that's what the language or the grammar does when we speak. The more we practice the grammar and we get better at it, we are very good and we are very sharp in giving out our messages. Having said that, the importance of the grammarian, I would be explaining the word of the day, seasoning. That means something that seasons. Usage is adjust the seasoning to taste, add the seasoning while cooking. There are a lot of ways you can use it. Our TMOD already used it. I would encourage everyone to use this. And I will also be making a note of good usage of words and not so good usage of words, and making a report and giving it to the general evaluator when asked. Thank you so much. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you. May I request the timer, Toastmaster Ramdas?
Thank you, Toastmaster Day. Time is very important in our life. Time gone is gone. We can't get back. Time and tide waits for none. So in Toastmasters, we value time. We start the meeting on time. Every role is defined certain time. So as a timer, I'll be showing green, yellow, red as per the defined time. I'll give my report when called for at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. May I have Toastmaster Saikat speak about the counter?
Today we are discussing, in office we are discussing about something, some serious discussion about some products. Suddenly one person came and he started stammering in between, saying, so the full flow has been broken. So as a R counter guy here, my role is to counter those words. It's called CRPA words, crutch words, repetitive words, long pauses, and the fillers words. So I'll give my report in the before end of this today's meeting when called upon by the general evaluator. So please remember, I'll call everyone's name. Already I've noted a lot of names. I'll get back to you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. The basic cardinal rules of any Toastmasters meeting, we are going to go to that. So let's begin this session with our first speaker. Our first speaker, may I call him the evaluator for the first speaker, Toastmaster Atmika. No, she's the
Evaluator for his speech. Thank you, Toastmaster Suparna. Today's speaker will be, as he recently completed his pathway, he'll be beginning the journey of another pathway with this speech. This is an L1B1 speech. This is the icebreaker speech, and it is 5 to 7 minutes, 4 to 6 minutes, sorry, 4 to 6 minutes. And we will see what our speaker has to say about himself today through the speech. Thank you.
Our speaker for today is a very unique person. His uniqueness has been blooming little by little by little by little. From the day he came till date, I think we all get to see a different phase about him every day. You know, that's the beauty of our speaker. may I invite the gentleman to give his first speech, the icebreaker speech for the pathway that he decides on.
Thank you. Thank you. This city without strife is Hamlet without the prince. One of the famous director of India, film director of India, once given this statement. About which city? Regarding which city I am asking. This city, he stated like this city without strife is Hamlet without the prince. I'm referring which city?
Kolkata.
Yes, you are right. I born and brought up there, as you all know, the city of joy, or city of first cantilever beach of India. I born around 40 years ago there, and I landed in Bengaluru in 2012. So in between, a lot of journey happened. So I need to share my journey with you. That's why I'm here today. So I born in a very strict Bengali family. My father was very strict, and mother was always very pampering. Like, Shona Babu Khecho, that means golden boy, have you eaten, like that. So on top of that, my sister also, elder sister also added. Same pampering, always pampering. So he start laughing more on me. I need to add something very serious thing. It's about my name. It's cycle to sea beach. When I landed in Bangalore, since it took me 1.5 months to explain my name and the pronunciation, what is the pronunciation. And after that I got lot of sub names, different name I got, like Saukat, Sanket, Shankar, and recently one new name added, Shocket, you know Shocket. Somebody called me Shocket. So, as my name suggested, this meaning of the name is sea beach. I can't avoid the sea beach. I tried a lot of things. I refrained myself around 17 years of my life. Finally, I started exploring the sea beaches in and around Bengal. First, I visited the sea beaches in 2001 somewhere. From that time onwards, my life is revolving around Dipuda. Da means elder brothers. It's nothing to do with any elder brothers. Dipuda is abbreviation. There is a sea beach called Digha near to West Bengal. So Digha, Puri Jagannath, and Darjeeling. So Dipuda. So like my life happened like this. Before exam, one of my friends asked me, let's go to Puri. Why? For praying. I said, why for praying? No, for relaxation, to enjoy the sea beach. So my life happened like this. So I completed my graduation. Then I thought, no, now I'm doing the higher study. Now this Deepuda will leave me. Okay, I completed MBA also, then joined corporate world in 2006 somewhere. I thought now it will leave me. But I asked one of my colleagues, so we'll do some party, we'll go somewhere. So I can say, chalo, enjoy, we'll do enjoy. Which place you suggested? That person said, Digha. So again, Deepuda. Finally, that tremendous moment came in my life, very seriously. Married. I got married in the year of 2010 with my that time girlfriend, become wife. So my wife, I thought now I got married. My wife is, we'll go explore some different place. So I'm very excited. So my wife said, we'll enjoy, we'll go some romantic places, we'll do this thing. Finally, we reached to Digha. So still now, Deepuda has not left me. So finally, in 2012, I landed in Bangalore. Finally, Deepuda left me. So another da got me. That is Gokada. Goa, Kannur, Davangere. Like, what is happening? See, my name is, my meaning of my name is sea beach. So it will never leave me. So one good thing happened during this thing. I have visited a lot of places. I went to different places. And in this process, so many times I visited the sea beaches. If we see my ears, this molecules of sand will come, like that. Still now I can't avoid this sea beach. So in this process, I met with different person. One of the best thing happened that met with one person named Sudipto. We are having the toast, the English breakfast. That time he referred to me the Toastmaster. What is Toastmaster? I thought someone will toast. There is a party kind of thing. Someone will toast in your name. So I joined Toastmaster. That is one of the best thing happened in my life. I joined Toastmasters in this journey of B2B. Now you may ask, what is B2B? B2B, my journey from, I stayed one place, it's called Belur in West Bengal, Belur Mutt. From Belur Mutt to Bomanali. So my journey started from Belur and ended at Bomanali. Other way, started from Bengal and ended at Bengaluru. So in this journey, I've got one of the best thing that Toastmaster, as Tio Modi said, that Toastmaster added some spices in our life. He's added to my life also. So I'm skeptical about the new pathways. Tomorrow is one workshop is there on pathways. I'm going to attend that. So still my motto is same. What it was in 2 years back. With the help of Toastmaster, I need to grow, I need to grow and become a seasoned Toastmaster. That's all. Over to you.
Deepuda, Gokada. Uh, Actually, because I belong to the same fraternity of Bengal, it is so well known a dictum, Deepuda. Bengalis like to move around within a particular periphery, right? And it is known that if you are a Bengali staying in Kolkata, you will be a Deepuda. So, very enchanting talk and very lively said, and connecting it to B2B, you know, which is, I think, applaudable. Okay. Now let me call upon for the next speaker. Let me have the evaluator first, Toastmaster Rashmi.
Same guidance.
Toastmaster Ramdas is also actually giving an icebreaker. He's finished a complete path and then he's taking up a new pathway. And with that, I think we would like to see a new flavor of Ramdas, which we are all waiting to see. Their speech timing would be 4 to 6 minutes. And with that, I think I'll hand over the baton back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rashmi. Toastmaster Ramdas has always been the founder, energizer for this club. I think we all must acknowledge that. And to see him move into another pathway, I think is a learning for all of us. We get motivated by that. That pathways need to be learned, whatever is your age, whatever difficulties you have in life. Let's add a little spice, a little seasoning to our lives and keep on learning the pathways. So I invite you, Toastmaster Ramdas, to give your icebreaker speech.
2012 December, 9th day of Vipassana meditation that I was attending, I went blank. I forgot everything. Dear Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. It took me some time to regain my memory and thoughts. When I regained my memory, I had few deep questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What is the purpose of my life? I couldn't find any answer at point of time. In fact, it took a couple of months to find the answer to these deep questions. In fact, the answers that I got transformed my life, and that life I call as 2.0. We all would have seen the sky during night time, especially when there are no clouds. You can see the vast, ever expanding, limitless, boundaryless sky. In the sky you see thousands of stars, hundreds of galaxies. In this vast, limitless universe, our solar system is very tiny, very small. In the solar system, our Mother Earth is so small. On this earth, India is just one country. And in India, Bangalore is just one of the cities. But in Bangalore, there is a man called Ramdas who is very fat, big person. He has done masters in engineering. He has worked for many multinational companies. He has a big house. He has a car, he has everything. He has a big ego as well. When I got the realization, I realized, isn't that ridiculous? Out of 1.3 crore people in Bangalore, this person, Ramdas, is not known to even more than 100 people. Compared to the galaxy or the universe, I'm not even a dust. How can I have this ego which makes me feel I'm great, I'm good, I'm better than everybody else? In fact, this realization helped me to blast my ego. In fact, it hurts when we break our ego. It hurts inside. I always believed that I should work very hard. When I was young, I had a dream to become CEO of a multinational company. I worked extremely hard. I used to work 16 hours a day for many years. I used to say that work is my first wife in front of my real wife as well. And that was true. I spent so much of time. Did I become CEO? No. But what I lost was the support that family gave me, or the society that helped me to grow. I missed everything. Because for me, work was only direction for me. It was only my growth, my career, and my dreams. The realization that I had helped me to realize that work is not everything. I need to take care of my family who loves me, who is helping me. I need to take care of the society around me who is nurturing and helping, and also the nature. So I started giving equal priority to my family, to the society, and to my work as well. In few years, I want to dedicate myself to the family and society fully. I believe that our thoughts will define our personality. Let me explain how. Our thoughts become words, words become action, action become habit, habit become personality, personality becomes what I am. So my thought is the one which makes me what I am, who I am. It defines my personality. If I have a pure thought, my personality will be very good. So the realization that I have had helped me to have very positive thoughts and good intentions. Because when I have pure thoughts, like a glass of water, which is very transparent, it actually is very, very clean. My dear friends, if I'm standing here today and talking to all of you with confidence, I should be thankful to one organization that actually supported me, mentored me, and stood like a rock behind me. Can you guess which organization is that?
Toastmaster.
Toastmasters. Yes, I'm very proud to say Toastmasters changed my life. When I wanted to stand and talk, I got confidence through this. So my aim in my life is to help those people, thousands of people out there who need this help. I want to support them, help them, guide them, mentor them, so that they will get benefit like how I got benefited. My dear friends, I shared how I transform myself from an immature person to a little bit more mature person now. So please think about yourself. There is a time when all of us can become a better person. We all can become 2.0 in our life. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much. I think the speech gives us a couple of takeaways for all of us. Takeaway one for me is need to move out of I, me, myself. When you move out of that, your vision towards life changes or enlarges. I think this is one of the biggest takeaways that 2.0 Ramdas talks about to us. So wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. And the second one is, once you realize that you are just but one small icon of an electron in the entire world, then you feel time for us to give back to the society, reach out to them and see that whatever potentiality we have, can we share it, can we multiply it? Yes, 2.0 does happen in everybody's life, and if it doesn't happen, that's sad, but if it happens, it's a wonderful experience. Thank you so much for that. Moving on from 2.0 to speaker 3, the last prepared speech for the day. May I call in the evaluator, Toastmaster Ashwin, to read out the dictum.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day, Toastmaster Pranav. So the speaker is attending a WT speech, project 2 speech of the pathway dynamic leadership, and the speech title is the art of being a pro-teach, how to find and appreciate your mentors in life. So there are basically two purposes of the speech. The first one is the purpose of this project is for a member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and the second purpose is for a member to share some aspects of a previous experience as a pro-teach. Tamo, please note the speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. So all the best, Toastmaster Atlika. Back to you, Toastmaster.
So, speaker 3, Toastmaster Atmika, as announced by the evaluator, is one bubbling bundle when she opens her mouth, otherwise not. That's the difference. Once she opens her mouth, it's just wonderful to listen to her. So, may I invite Toastmaster Atmika to deliver her L2P3 of Pathway Dynamic Leadership.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suparna, for that introduction. When I got into Toastmasters, a lot of it revolved around the idea of public speaking. But public speaking wasn't new to me. It is something that I've been doing since my high school. So when Toastmaster B.K. Krishnamurthy first said, no, you have to join Toastmasters, you have to get into this. I was like, okay, what can I do? What will I get out of this? And how exactly am I going to fit into this puzzle? Was a big thing for me. And that is when I came into this system, I realized that I am gaining a wealth of experience from people around me. And that is when I realized that I'm being a protege once again. So when I look back into my experiences of when I was a protege, when did this entire thing begin in my life, I can go back to when I was 7 years old. See, the term protege is actually taken from a Latin word called protegere, which means to protect. So initially as a protege, you're protected by the person who's trying to teach you something, by the person who's trying to transfer some skills into you and say, okay, with these skills, go and fight the world. So when I was a 7-year-old kid, I was again protected in the Chennai YMCA swimming pool. I was learning swimming, I was competitive at that point of time, but I was being mentored by a group of 70-year-olds. So what were these 70-year-olds doing? They were teaching me to have fun, because I was there in that pool trying to be as competitive as possible, trying to hone my skills under my coach, while these 5 very young gentlemen were trying to show me that despite being competitive, I could have fun. I can enjoy a skill that I'm trying to learn despite it being something that I'm aiming to win, be the first in. It was a hilarious situation. My mom laughs about it to this day. She said, you look like a very, very small duckling in front of those 5 gargantum young gentlemen there who are trying to say, don't worry about it, just jump into the pool. Don't worry about it, you can just dive straight in. And it was a really, really fun experience. So that was the moment. At that point, I didn't realize I was being mentored by them into learning a life skill that would come into use much, much, much later. And I didn't realize at that point of time how important it was, the point that they were trying to get across to me. But I kept it with it because as a kid, all you want to do is have fun. And that fun stayed with me. So I realized moving forward in life that no matter how competitive, how crazy, how complicated life got, you need to find your own sense of fun in it. You need to find your own essence of joy in it. And that way, life does not get derailed. And in that way, there is some seasoning to this wonderful thing called life. So moving on, you can't stay in the same age. So as I grew up and we shifted to Mangalore, it was a completely alien experience to me. Yes, I'm a Kannadiga, but I was primarily brought up in Tamil Nadu. So everything from the language, the people I knew till then, everything was a new experience to me when I moved here. And at that point of time, I joined the volleyball team. Only because there weren't enough people. I was short. Let's just get that straight. I was short. Volleyball teams are not made up with short people. They are made up with tall people. So I went to my physical education director and I said, why did you put me in the volleyball team? He said, there is a position called a setter. And setters of all international teams are the shortest of them all. They are literally half the height of the entire team. But as a setter, you learn to anticipate. You learn to see where does the ball go and where it has to go so that your team can get the advantage. You learn to read the entire team in front of you. You learn to see how you can take advantage of this. And again, being a teenager at that point of time, I did not realize the valuable skills he was trying to teach me by being in that position. You can look disadvantaged, you might feel disadvantaged, but you can give value from where you are standing. And that, I realized, was a very, very skillful lesson he was trying to teach me. Yes, I got knocked, I have broken fingers from my volleyball days, but that lesson was a very valuable one for me when I had to come to working in teams. To this day, I'm in touch with that PE director, and I'm very, very grateful for when he took me under his wing and taught me this valuable skill. After a few years, I must say even just the recent past, when I started my career, I realized I was a very fish out of water. I got selected into a PR agency, but I realized that I really did not have, let's say, the flavor for it. Yes, I'm a person who loves communication, but PR is a whole other beast. And when I had to live in the agency, live that life, that crazy, crazy life, I realized I don't think I'm here in it for the long run. And in between all of this mess, when I was trying to figure out what to do and what not to do, my branch head sat me down. He had a very straightforward conversation with me. He said, I know you like to write content. And he had assigned clients to me that in the same way. But he said, if you really don't want to do PR, I suggest you get out of it right now. He said, take your strength as your content, keep it with you, close to your heart, and live your life the best way you can. So thanks to him, I'm in the current job that I'm right now. And I love the place that I've been. So more than anything else, friends, remember, you have mentors everywhere. You don't know when they are teaching you. Sometimes you don't even realize they are teaching you at that point in time. But always carry the life lessons that they have taught you. Thank you.
So we come to the end of the prepared speeches. From seashore to life's lesson, we walk through life actually. Looking at life through a different prism. Saikat felt how life can be very similar, Deepuda, yet every time you visit a seashore, it's a new flavor. Ramdas ji felt, give to the world a different prism to look at life. And our young Toastmaster Atmika says, anybody can teach you, provided you understand the value of that teaching and keep that new to you. Again, another angle, another prism, another reflection of life. Wonderful. I think all of this reflects into adding some flavor into our everyday life. Okay, from here, we move on to the most enjoyable part, the Toastmaster, the table topics. And I think I was designated to do the table topics out of the hat today. And I'm still scratching my head as to what are the topics that I can do. I would like to keep up with the same theme, add some flavor to your life. When I say that, I will give maybe one or two words. The moment I give that word, there is a thought which comes to our mind. And if a thought comes to our mind, did it create some kind of a flavor in our life? Right? And I would opt, we are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. So you can volunteer the way you want. So the first word is, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Mungaru Male, the film. Who would opt for it?
Okay. You don't have to do that. I will happily do that.
Toastmaster Suprema, thank you so much. The moment I hear the word Mungaru Made, the first thing comes up is the beautiful melodious songs, which my mom keeps singing all the time. She's also in love with those songs. The next thing is the rain. The love. I love rain, so I think that's the next thing which comes into mind. And the last thing is a romance, which is in the movie, technically speaking. But I think that is the least part. That is the part which I think I would go for the last one. But the first two is something which I'm really crazy. I can listen to those songs for any number of times. Mungaru Made, and of course the rain, the way they've shown the rain and the way rain is a part of the life, and also we keep seeing rain, and something which brings me very good memories is after the rain I love to see the fresh leaves or the clean trees all around in the trees, I mean all around in the roads. So that is something which I always look forward to when it rains. So these are the things which comes into my head. Thank you so much.
Thank you. One small word and so many thoughts. The second one is a song, "ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों." Who would volunteer? Sung by Lataji on the dawn of our independence 77 years back. Ramdas ji?
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Tabletop Master. We all should be patriotic. We should love the country where we live. And that patriotism actually multiplies when somebody wears a uniform of the defense or army, military or navy. The same person without uniform and with uniform, there's a great difference. Because I remember I was working for a company, BPL, and when I wear the uniform, the type of mindset I have, and when I'm not wearing, though I'm inside the company, is entirely different. So the uniform that we wear will multiply the patriotism. So I agree, we all need to be patriotic, and on the Independence Day, we can be more patriotic by wearing uniform, or we respect people, we need to respect people who wear the uniform and in the front, maybe on the border, remember them. So this song always, which comes during Independence Day, actually reminds all of us we need to be patriotic, to respect those people who give their life and who give their family. In fact, many of them, they stay alone by leaving their family behind. So we need to respect those people. So this is a reminder which I got recently, a couple of days back, on 15th of August. Thank you. Thank you so much.
"ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों" is a song which gives me goosebumps whenever I hear. The reason is, it was explained to me by my father when I was hardly 4 or 5 years old. He said, "Don't sing it. You have to understand every word of it. You understand, you sing. Otherwise, you don't sing." And I think we revisited that every 5 to 6 years, as we were growing up in our time. And Dad would again come back and say, "Chalo, समझते हैं ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों के meaning." And that would be always around 11 to 12 in the night of 14th of August. He used to sit with me and my brother, and I think at least 4 times we have revised the meaning of this. One is "ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों," another is "At Last Shunt" by Ayn Rand. These two things he really drilled into us through our lives. A bit of my story. Okay, the next word is Tirumala Tirupati.
The temple of Tirumala Tirupati has two very distinct incidents in my mind. The first was I knew as a young child that it was a very big temple, very famous, very powerful also considered. So my mother would always make it a point to tell me that it doesn't matter how big or how small the temple is, it always is the faith that you show. But still, when you go to that particular place, when you see that huge idol, there is a presence that makes your faith go towards that particular place. So when we went to Tirupati expecting a big crowd and the wait time and all of that, we were very very surprised when we got the darshan in within 30 minutes. And I thought it was a blessing. It was a miracle to me at that point of time to see that particular thing happen. The second incident that comes in mind is my mother decided to take a girls trip with her friends to different temples, and she went to Tirupati at that point of time. And I was at Denmark at that point of at that given period, and I did a video call to her, and suddenly my mom is bald. She decided that she would give her hair there, and she surprised everybody, including the people who were with her. So, whenever you say Tirupati, in my mind, these are the two very, very big instances of my life that come into being. Thank you.
When we went to Tirupati, my first trip on Tirupati, I think, was when I was hardly 6 to 7 years old. And I was awed by seeing rows and rows of people sitting and getting their heads bald. A little me, my nickname is Shampa. I asked, why are you doing this? My mother turned back and said, your hair is your pride, the way you look and present yourself to the world. So you come to Tirumala Tirupati to shed your pride. So as I grew up, we went again. I took my children, and again we repeated the same story. Okay. Next is Jodada roti to baked macaroni.
Sorry, I left. I need to take this.
Then I should do the next task.
Can you repeat this thing again?
Jolada roti to baked macaroni.
Thank you, Deputy Topic Master, for giving this wonderful topic. When I was child, young, 10, 15 years, 10, 11 years old, we are from suburban. We born and brought up in suburban, not in the exactly in Calcutta. It's around 25 kilometers from Calcutta. The place name was Chandan Nagar. That is Chandel Nagar. This is called Chandel Nagar. So at that time there was nothing, no MACD, no KFC, nothing. It was not proper city. So I've seen my cousin, brother, sister, they are taking all these things, burgers and this KFC, MACD and all those things they are taking. So I asked my mother, what is this? Why they are taking? We are not getting, we are not living in a village, right? So why you are not getting all these things? So that time my mother, from the two buns, she made one burger with the two buns, with adding some manda and all those things, that made some burger. That is called, we call pav. That is we call pav. So we made this thing. So for me, it's maybe Indian food or foreign food. It's all same. How you are making with your love, with your affection, that's matter for me. Someone asked, you are a Bengali, you love non-veg. Believe me, there is some restriction. I don't like all the non-veg because a lot of things are happening around that. So veg, I am always open to veg. But how you are making the food, that is important for me. It's not the name or Indian food or foreign food, doesn't matter. Junk food or healthy food doesn't matter. How you are making the food, how you are presenting the food, that is important for me.
Thank you so much. Gaddaroti was something which I was invited to just about a few months back when one of our colleagues moved on to another university. And it's a one small joint in Gandhinagar that they took us. 3, 4 of us went. But the beauty is students are the people who are serving there. They always call for interns from hospitality, schools and colleges to serve the food, always. And the head waiters just stand at the back. The beauty of that place. And all these girls and boys who are serving us, what humility they had, And the moment they understand you are a non-Kannadika, they come and explain to you what it is. So, it added a lot of spice to my life that day. That's the reason I talk about this. Okay. One more thing we can talk about. We can talk about Kaveri to Ganges.
It's down.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suparna, for that wonderful topic. So, what comes to my mind is from Kaveri to Ganges is something like Kashmir to Kanyakumari. And I get some thoughts about this that when we talk about this particular topic, Kaveri to Ganges, the full country can be explored as a whole. We all can come together as one, just like 3 days back when we had this Independence Day, when the entire country was united just to bring this day to us. So not only that, it's about even exploring the country, because see, people want to go out, they want to go to other countries, they want to make a name for themselves. But why not our country when we can explore the rich culture, not only just in the place where we are, but in all the other places of our country. So that is what I would like to say, that it's a good opportunity for us to explore everything from the Kaveri waters to the Ganges rivers, and just look at what more we can do being Indians, and what more we can explore, and also how we can gauge ourselves in terms of what we know about our own country and what we can do for it, and also learn from the people from the entire country. Back to you.
The rivers are our true lifelines in India and anywhere, any other world also. Nile is a lifeline for a lot of countries. Yangtze is a lifeline for entire China. Brahmaputra is a lifeline for the entire Northeast. And life revolves around the rivers actually. Right? Their culture, their presentation, their work ethics, their habituaries, the way they live is all around the river, their food, their festivals. So I think we shall end
I
here.
need to interrupt. So, as a very less member today, we are suggesting one topic to you also.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Durga and Ganapati celebrations.
Durgati Harini. For a Bengali, Durga is an emotion more than a goddess. It's an emotion so strong that you can feel it almost 90 days before the Amavasya. Because the entire murti has to be made, the sculpture has to be made, right? But around Durga Puja, those 9 days, what happens is, at least in Bengal, even now it's happening across the country, you are exposed to what beautiful skill of people. Every Durga Murti in Bengal is made from different material, has got a theme, has got an understanding, is contemporary, it's a story. I wish people just not travel for leisure and parents just not take their children for leisure, but explain if it is made of sola, what is sola? If it is made out of a theme, what is that theme? If it is made out of bamboo, why is it? So is Ganapati in the south and west of India. I have seen Ganapati celebrations in Mumbai. It's as large as Durga celebrations, spread over 10 days and full of mirth, full of energy, full of blessings, which percolates to the entire country. I feel so. So Durga or Ganapati, both the celebrations are a harbinger of hope for us, is a paradise of food for all of us, and is a time when we meet our families, greet our families, welcome our families, new tidings for the new year. Thank you. So, with this, we come to the end of this round. I hope you guys enjoyed, because
Yes.
it was just out of the hat. We now come to the most important part of today's evening. We have Toastmaster Ashwin. Toastmaster Ashwin, honestly speaking, I don't know much about him. But what I know about you is your passion towards Toastmaster, your wonderful listening capabilities to all of us whenever you have come, and your immaculate notes taking that you do. That is, I think, in a Toastmasters club, is what we must learn from each other, take and give from each other. And every time you have come, I've seen this. When I was announced the president of this club, he did give me a call one day to tell, is it the same time that we come? And then on the WhatsApp we were chatting, and then I asked him, which club are you from? And then he said, I'm from Focus. Focus Talk. I realized this one gentleman from another club keeps coming to our Friday evenings whenever he has time, and I don't feel you are from Focus Talk. I feel you are a part of our team.
Actually, frankly speaking, in the last 2-3 months, I've been coming here more than that.
I
No, the thing is, actually, I've changed my job actually. I moved from Texas Instrument, where the Toastmaster happens, to Deloitte. So I'm not been able to go for Toastmaster.
Wonderful. So we have somebody who is getting groomed into this NITK psyche. Wonderful. May I invite you to give the evaluation of the day?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Suparna, for that warm and brief, wonderful introduction to myself. Although you do not know me much, but I would definitely, at some point of time, introduce myself, give a proper introduction to you all, so you all get to know me well beforehand. And whenever any introductions happen, I can be also introduced in a. I would love to be introduced in a.
Absolutely.
Very good. Yeah, sure. Thanks so much, ma'am. So, well. Remember those good old school and college days wherein we used to write exams, and based on that there would be a stringent and rigorous evaluation, and on which our results would be decided. So that is what brings me here today as a general evaluator today for today's meeting. And of course we all are experienced Toastmasters here, but just to tell about my role, as a role of a general evaluator for today's meeting, I'll be evaluating the entire proceedings of meeting from start to end. And I should be giving constructive feedback to all the speakers taking the stage so that they are able to improvise in terms of the public speaking skills whenever they take the stage the next time. And of course, to assist me in the role and in my evaluation process, I've enlisted the services of a wonderful team called the TAG team, which was also wonderfully introduced by our Toastmaster today, courtesy to her. That is the timer, accounter, and grammarian. So now, moving on to the evaluation, I would first like to call on my TAG team, that is the timer, Toastmaster Ramdas, to come and give his timer report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Today meeting started sharp 7 o'clock. Sarita, Toastmaster Atmika took 2 minutes. Then presiding officer and TMOD, Toastmaster Day, Suparnaji took 13 minutes, 1-3. Then we had 3 speakers today. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Sekhar, took 7 minutes, 14 seconds. Speaker 2, Ramdas, took 6 minutes, 38 seconds. Speaker 3, Toastmaster Atmika, took 7 minutes, 26 seconds. So Atmika is qualified as per Toastmasters norms. Then table topics, everybody spoke for more than a minute. Toastmaster Sekharji only spoke for 2 minutes. Everybody else is between 1 and 2 minutes. Our total table topic session was 18 minutes, 1-8. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramaswat, for giving that very brief and elaborate, detailed report on your timing report. So now, quickly moving on, I would like to call on our counter, Toastmaster Saikat Nandi, to give his report.
Why you were using the CRPF words? Is there any reason? Because lawyers tend to get some support from something. So I will explain how many support you guys do. I start with Atmika. During essay speech, you use so 2 times, and during your speech, you use so 11 times, see 1 time, and that is also crutch words, and that is 3 times, and during table topic you used so 1 time. So is your support word. Toastmaster Suparna Ghoshal, very difficult to find the crutch words, but I got the success today. A1, so 1, and 1.
What is that?
And like
Acha.
is also crutch word. And Rashmi ji, Toastmaster Rashmi B, so 2 times during TT. That's all. Toastmaster Ramdas Bhatt is very prominent. Only so 2 times. Toastmaster Ashwin, General Evaluator, C, I heard 1, A, 2 times during table topic. Toastmaster Sekhar is myself. I heard so, I will so 3 times, A 3 times. I don't know, I maybe missed out. So that's all from my side. So I've shared the support report, I would say. Over to you.
We had a very so day.
Very sorry.
So thank you, Toastmaster Saikat Nandi. The way you gave the report was really wonderful. And also, thank you for bringing out that word support. And now I'm sure that I think going forward, Toastmaster Atmika would try to give us speeches without that support. It's a good motivation for her as well. And of course, just wanted to share with you one general thing. Like I was just going to a Toastmaster video, and what I saw in that video is that generally someone was telling that the tag team players should not evaluate the general evaluator. But then I don't believe in that, because I feel that we are all learning from each other and nobody is above the law, not even the evaluator when it comes to Toastmasters. So thank you, Toastmaster Saikat, for bringing this wonderful report. So now, finally, I would like to call on the Premier Toastmaster Rashmi to give in our report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. The word of the day, seasoning, has been used by 3 of them: Suparna, Toastmaster Suparna, Toastmaster Saikat, and Toastmaster Atmika. The others, 3 of us, we have not used it. I captured some beautiful phrases which I'm going to go through and put it up in the group. Transported to illusionary world. Naughtiness has been banned. Little bit of humdrum here and there. To be in this cosmos. Displacement of elite. Underbelly of California. Time and tide waits for none. Different face every time. Molecules of sand coming out of ears. And then our thoughts will define our personality. The explanation of the word prodigy, to protect by person who transfers skills to you. Here is the pride, so shed the pride. And then harbinger of hope and paradise of food. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi, for a job well done. I would say that at least three of them used the word of the day. I would say that is 50% progress. I would say because sometimes we struggle to even bring out the word of the day from even one person in meeting. I've seen that a couple of times. So you just have to work on that another 50%, and then you'll be in that flow wherein everyone have used the word of the day. And just one suggestion I would like to tell you, ma'am. Whenever, I mean, this is in general, that whenever you're giving those good phrases, maybe if you can even tell who has used that phrase, it would be a motivation for them also, so that they can be able to bring in these phrases more and more often. And of course, it goes without saying that the not so good words and phrases, the name may not be mentioned, because whenever you mention that word or phrase, the person who's used it automatically would understand it. So that is something, a general suggestion what we all can implement. So thank you once again. A huge round of applause again to our tag team. Wonderful tag team report. Now I would come to the individual evaluation process of the evaluation. So I would like to call on the individual evaluator for the first speech, that is Toastmaster Atmika, to give her evaluation on Toastmaster Cycles.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Ashwin. Toastmaster Cycles today gave a wonderful introduction of himself, because we know some aspects of Toastmaster Cycles very well, like his work in finance and his love for music. And I would like to bring up the point that today he did not touch upon the topic of music at all, which is a very key essence in a lot of his speeches. And I think that's great progress, because in one of the previous meetings also he said that somebody had given him the feedback, if you can, Suparna ma'am had given him the feedback if you can talk without music. And I think it's mission success today that he's done that. He had a very strong opening, connecting to his roots in Kolkata, and as one of his another strengths, I must say, is the use of humor. And today it was a very subtle, I can say, a tadka of humor that he used in his speech today. Starting from people butchering his name, to his connection to the beach Diga, and as also our grammarian has mentioned, the molecules of sand was another point. And another improvement that I've seen with Toastmaster Cycle over a few speeches actually is how he's able to bring the flow into his speeches. He did struggle with that initially, but right now we can see the improvement where he's able to connect one topic, one para to the next and the next. A few work in progress spaces that I can say is that this is one thing I've had a bone with you for a minute. With your name, the meaning of your name basically. Sea beach technically is not right, because sea is the water, the entire body of water, and beach is when you stand in the shore, that's the beach. So I looked up your name just in case. Your name means the beach basically. So sea, you can't use sea and beach together, does not make sense basically. So
Stand corrected.
Very good.
I wanted to authenticate it before bringing it up to you. So yes, that is. Please keep that in mind going in the future. Today, your body language is very well articulated today, but you're very unconsciously constantly looking up for some reason. I think it's a very unconscious moment right now, and I would ask you to pay attention to that moving forward. And finally, the conclusion was a little rushed. I think might have had a little more points to talk about at that point of time, and you had to conclude due to the time restraint, so it felt a little rushed. And other than that, I think we are figuring out new facets about you through this introduction, and I would request you to keep the humor coming, keep the speeches coming, and all the very best to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to add in just a few points. One thing I realized is I got to know that even though I've not maybe witnessed his first speeches, and this was icebreaker, something in between after a couple of speeches, I realized that you have got a very good sense of humor, and you are also, again, as Toastmaster Atmika said, your body language was something what I really loved, and maybe one thing what I can just suggest is maybe you add your reference material in terms of you have some papers, you have a mobile also. Maybe I thought they were not required actually. Like although you did not use it, so that is just one small suggestion. Maybe if it's not required, you don't have to use it. Sometimes it distracts because sometimes so inevitably maybe we may tend to look at that instead of looking at you also, the audience, that way. So that can be actually avoided when it's not really required. And also one thing what I liked about our individual evaluator was she suggested points of improvement as to how your speeches were earlier to how it's improved now. That works as a very good, wonderful motivation for anybody and everybody to give speeches. So once again, a huge round of applause to both the speaker and the individual evaluator. Now moving on, I would like to call on the second individual evaluator, and that is Toastmaster Rashmi, to give an evaluation on our speaker, Toastmaster Andas.
I stand probably corrected after this, and I'll be asking for evaluation on the evaluation after this. However, going to the evaluation, we try to look at the OBC, the opening, the body, and the closure. Opening was awesome, where you said you forgot everything and you started from there. You captured the audience right there, and then you went through how that made you realize, and then the ego was blasted and you became a version 2.0. I think it's a very good lesson for all of us to learn, and a good message which you pointed at the end of it. So the closure was also good. With that, I think there was a flow in the entire speech, I would say. The eye contact was good. The vocal variety, there was a lot of vocal variety today, and the gestures were good. Very comfortable. So I think this was one of the best speeches which I've heard. I would improvement areas. I don't think I could point out anything. I tried writing it down. I couldn't find anything. I'm going to be very honest. With that, I think I would just want you to pick up the next pathway, and then I would want to listen to more and more of your speeches. Thank you so much.
So thank you once again. Just to add my points, like one thing what I've noticed, like in today's speech, Toastmaster Ramdas was, I would say that it was something which came across to me as very sincere and had very good emotional elements also. I would say that they were good takeaways to learn from your experiences, and which was well brought out from our individual evaluator also. And I would say that in terms of the individual evaluation also, it was really something which really came out wherein it was really, I would say it was really artful for me to listen to your speech and also to the individual evaluation. So with that, huge round of applause to our speaker and individual evaluation. Now coming to the third speaker, that is speaker 3, Toastmaster Atmika, and yours truly will be doing the evaluation also. Yeah. So I would say, Toastmaster Atmika, your speech was powerful and transforming also, not only in terms of speech today, but also in terms of your life also, the transformation what you have got through. I like the way you started, when you brought in your mentor, Mr. B.K. Krishnamurti, who introduced you to Toastmasters and also told you what were the benefits you can derive out of Toastmasters, which brings you here and gives us an opportunity to listen to your wonderful speech. And also you explain the meaning of pro-teach, which is a part of your speech. And thank you so much for bringing that out, because there could be people who may not be knowing the actual meaning of pro-teach. And also I would say that you're transitioning in terms of your the mentorship what you got from the time you were in Chennai, when you went to the pool and learn from your mentors in terms of swimming, not only about the physical aspects of swimming, but also the life lessons what you got from them. Those sharings, I would say, was just tremendous, just wonderful. And also from that wonderful transitioning, when you came back to Bangalore, you learned volleyball. Even though there were others in terms of a feeling that wherein maybe volleyball may not be for you, it's only for tall people. How you were able to come out of that limitation and learn from that particular mentor, who you even remember now, who you even respect now, was wonderful. It was the example what you shared. I would say they were like just beautiful in terms of mentorship, wherein you also told us that mentors can be like used and taken benefit from in any and every aspect of our life. That is what I just simply love. Also, the lessons what you learned, I would say they were like really very well articulated. You like the lesson what you learned in terms of life lessons, and also at the same time those skills what you develop from these lessons, and what brings you here today in terms of loving your job. How you concluded it well by saying about the mentor here who like appreciated your skills in terms of your PR skills, your editorial skills, and that is what makes you love the job what you are doing today. That was also very well brought out, very well articulated. Also, I would say in terms of the clarity, excellent communication skills, spot on, no doubt about that. Your vocal variety was tremendous. You use your tone, your speech, your volume with perfection. You knew when to use your pitch, your tone. Very well done. Also, you engage the audience fully, not only with your experiences, but also with your humor. And you are comfortable with the audience. And the audience also get comfortable listening to you because of your experiences in terms of your mentorship. And also, I would say that you were able to arouse your interest level of the audience by bringing out this topic. And one thing I would say is in terms of the evaluation, one part of evaluation, you very well stuck with your role because you brought out a clarity that this is not about mentorship in regard to the Toastmaster mentorship project, wherein people come and talk about the mentors in Toastmasters. So you very well brought out that and highlighted the evaluation very well in terms of what you were supposed to speak. One thing I would just say in terms of improvisation, you gave me a very tough job. I was looking for some looks to bring out, but you never gave me an opportunity. So really a wonderful job done, Toastmaster Apnika. And I would definitely challenge you and like you to bring in more such speeches. You are really a very good storyteller. You share very good lessons to us, what we can all learn from. And there's always a good opportunity and something to listen from your speeches. With that, thank you, and a huge round of applause to our speaker, Toastmaster Apnika, for a wonderful speech. I guess I would have exceeded time. Good that I asked a tiny report earlier.
No, but you did the evaluation and the G together.
But that can be done in terms of my speaker. Okay. Now coming to the overall evaluation process. First, a surgeon announced a wonderful start to the meet. And also, you explained the three rules of the meeting clearly well. You gave us also 30 seconds time to like silence the mobiles, no matter how many mobiles we have, and whatever we are doing on it. And also, you brought about in terms of introduction to the president also in a very crisp and concise manner, a simple introduction but yet powerful. Just one small thing, suggestion I would say is, as a surgeon rounds, maybe even though it is something impromptu, I'm not sure whether you were supposed to be the surgeon rounds. But even having said that, maybe I don't think it's required to use any reference. Even if you're explaining the purpose of the Toastmasters Club, that is one thing. Maybe if, I mean, this is something for me also, maybe as Toastmasters being for quite some time, maybe it is something what we are bound to do is to remember the purpose of Toastmasters meeting. And also one thing what I would like is maybe in general for surgeon and arms is not only to bring the purpose of Toastmasters club, but even the purpose of the particular club. If you have a particular, there will be a purpose, I suppose, for every particular club. So I'm sure that this club also would have a purpose. So you can even bring out that purpose here. That is more. That is something what I feel may be more important, because purpose of Toastmaster club in general we can always do a Google and get it. That's it. So having said that, a huge round of applause for our surgeon for the having a wonderful job, doing a wonderful. Now coming to our president, what can I say? Like you explained the team very well, adding flavors to our life, or adding spices to our life. You gave some very good examples. You added right a dose of humor to your presidential speech whenever required. And you also told in terms of speech that we need to bring that element of little bit naughtiness also to whatever we do, whether it's in a school or whether it's working anywhere and everywhere. And also you gave us good examples as to how we can add spices to all elements of our life. Also, one thing what I really loved about your presidential speech and also the Toastmaster Day speeches, in terms of the way you combine both the aspects of the theme of the speech and also the Toastmasters movement. Because normally I've heard the presidents or Toastmaster Day, they just come, they tell about the Toastmaster movement, the year when it was formed, why did Ralph Smedley bring it, and what was the need for it. But you were able to like even add the spices to our life, put all the seasonings, and bring out that particular movement. And it was something what was very nice to listen to you. It was something new what I at least felt to listen in terms of the analysis what you did in terms of Ralph Smedley coming out with his Toastmaster of the Day movement. That was really wonderful. And you really made us ponder as to how we can also bring in and add more spices and seasonings into things and make it more and more better that way. And that transitioning was really wonderful. Just one or two small things I would like to suggest. One thing is maybe like, maybe this is something what I've seen maybe twice or thrice whenever you come on stage. Normally if there's anything here, you tend to hold on to that support. And maybe you tend to stand, because of that you tend to only stand here. You don't move around, you don't use the stage much. So maybe if you can avoid that, assuming that there's nothing here, or maybe before your speech you can just push it somewhere so that you don't have to use anything. You can even add that part of stage presence and make your speeches much more wonderful, although you're already there. And one more thing is, I was a little bit confused in terms of your transitioning, because you were the president and you were a Toastmaster of the Day also. Although I got a little bit in when you started speaking about the Toastmaster of the Day, Ralph Smedley, and also a team. But maybe if you can just bring it out that you are the Toastmaster of the Day also, like all of us can have an idea that, okay, fine, that maybe you're going to combine both the speeches and bring it out. So maybe that is the only thing what I have to say. With that, I would say a really wonderful, a really remarkable, and a tremendous job by our president and Toastmaster today. A huge round of applause to Toastmaster. Now coming to the table topics. First of all, I would like to thank you, ma'am, Toastmaster Suparna, for wearing a lot of hats in today's meeting, by even taking the table topics also spot on. And not only that, even the topics what you brought was spot on. You brought on topics like from songs to our freedom, to independence, and all the songs and add some meaning which have helped us in different ways. We were able to come and speak on this particular topics. We were comfortable speaking about it, and we really also enjoyed the Toastmasters the table topics, I suppose. We were able to speak on the topics. We made it easier for us also. We were able to connect to it, bring back those good old memories, and also feel happy at that point of time. And not only that, even the speakers also did a wonderful job by coming and sharing their experiences in terms of how the particular topic connected to them and brought on those happy moments. So a huge round of applause to our table topics master once again. So yeah, I guess I've covered everybody. Okay. With that, thank you so much for trusting in me and giving me this wonderful opportunity of coming and being a general evaluator. Although, although you all are much not only just about seasoning, but even seasoned speakers, and sharing this platform with you all as a general evaluator, I would say it's a good opportunity for me also to improve and work on my evaluation skills. With that, back to our Toastmaster today and presiding officer, Toastmaster Supreme.
Thank you so much. That was one long evaluation, precise, to the point, and that's what I love about the way he keeps writing all about us. So, thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin, for evaluating us so very precisely, yet keeping up with every quadrant of who has done what. You know, that's very important. In fact, I was trying to learn from him. Tomorrow I'm supposed to be a GE at one rendezvous meeting. So, I learned a lot, by the way. Thank you so much for being here with us. And before I close the day, okay, so let's, oh, Atmika wears a lot of hats today. Best speaker, best evaluator, and Ashwin also is the best evaluator you share as far as evaluation is concerned. But speaker, Atmika, I mean the way she started with the swimming pool and ended up that you can find a mentor anywhere provided you evaluate, and I think that's a value system in you rather. I see that as a value system ingrained in you, which is wonderful. So we come to the end of this day, as we don't have any guests. Let us not get into a pretext. Are there any announcements, sir, for the coming week?
Yeah, next week we'll have Moments of Truth, MOT. We'll identify who's going to conduct the session. So you can touch music. 1st September, we want to have a linkers meeting with Focus Talk. We'll again talk about that. And 19th September, linkers meeting with MCC. We'll plan all this.
19th of September.
Yeah.
Is 19th of September something else was also happening?
Yes.
From the area?
From the area, correct.
Okay. Then we'll get identify a different date. But MCC also agreed to do linkers meeting with us.
Okay.
1st September is confirmed with the
Focus. Okay.
So it will be a hybrid meeting.
September 19th is, August 19th, sorry.
So
Whatever that Friday. So
Yeah.
I'm not very sure.
August 19th is tomorrow, September 19th is a Tuesday.
Okay, then,
Because September 18th is Ganesh Chaturthi.
Okay. Whatever that date.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Ramdas just planned it out for the next 3 weeks for us. Thank you all for being here. And as we have a little refreshment, I think we need to brainstorm about how we can bring in more of our own members and new members to attend these meetings.
Close the meeting.
Yes, we'll close the meeting for the day. Thank you so much.